Hey guys and welcome. I am the Seven Swords, and today we're doing something quite a bit different from what I normally do. I wasn't originally planning on doing a Skyrim Let's Play, but I've decided that I want to do a Skyrim Let's Play. The reason I was putting it off is I was trying to fix my mod situation, but I've basically given up on trying to fix it. I use Vortex to mod, and it's just not working. I can't get any mods to install. I can't get any of them to work. Well, not any of them. We do have a few. We are currently in the Hall of the Vigil, and this is Sarah. Um, she's never really had a last name. She's a D&D character I created. Originally, she was a Neko, but she's a Breton for this because, well, I prefer Bretons, and I didn't really want to be playing as a Khajiit because I really don't like how their faces are look entirely animal. I would prefer it if I could make her face look like, well, like a Breton, and then have her have ears and a tail. So she's a Breton for this, not a Neko. Um, we'll learn a bit about her history and her backstory as we move on, but she is a pilgrim. She is not a Vigil of Stendar. She just happens to be visiting the visiting the hall here as she's found herself wandering through Skyrim. Her story is pretty interesting. Her story is something I haven't really put too much thought into. Um, her Mostly all I have decided so far is that her family was her. She had a mother and a father. Um, Her mother was a druid. Her father was a spellcaster, but with a bit of a secret. We might talk about that later. But eventually, they were attacked by bandits and killed. Probably somewhere in High Rock, since that's where the Bretons are from. I'm not entirely sure on that. Again, it's based on a D&D character, so it wasn't really made for Skyrim. The character I made for Skyrim I was thinking about doing, but I don't want to do without having mods that I want installed working. Um, One of the mods we have installed is I will have a list of mods in the description, but one of the mods I have installed that's working is Begin a New Life, which basically allows you to start somewhere other than the vanilla start. So right now we do have the quest of Second Chance and Always Vigilant. um, as far as reading goes, I'll do some reading in this, but I won't do a lot of reading. I will also not be in character the entire time. Sometimes I'll react as if I was her. I'm not going to do her voice because I'm bad with. I need more practice with my voice before I can do her voice. Um, Another reason why I'm not doing the character I want to do, and why I'm putting it off, because it is a female. But I mostly just prefer the female characters.
Wherever the Daedra hide, the Vigil of Stendar will cast them into the light.
Of course. Um, she. I don't know how Sarah feels about the Vigil. She probably supports them, but probably doesn't quite understand them. We are going to be doing quite a bit of alchemy in this playthrough. I do want to do alchemy. Um, let's go ahead and head out. We might as well walk while we talk. Um, Obviously, I won't be doing a lot of cutting for this because um, it's mostly going to be, I would hope, pretty fast-paced. If we hit a point where I'm doing a bunch of different things, and yeah, we're gonna do this. We're also gonna go in, and I normally don't play on higher difficulty settings, but I can imagine how this would be very interesting if it's not at least a little bit. We're gonna play on Adapt. I normally play on Novice. I don't play for difficulty in games. I play for enjoyment. So I usually don't play with difficulties, but we're gonna put a difficulty on. Um, Sarah also doesn't have the equipment she's used to. I can only imagine that this is like what she's been able to cobble together after her life was torn apart by her when her families were killed. If I didn't mention it before, I think I did, but her family was killed by bandits, and their house burnt down, and she's been wandering ever since. So I imagine that she's probably got just basically what she could cobble together. Which she has her an iron mace, which that's not her ideal weapon. Technically, her ideal weapon would be just straight up magic, which I did do a bit of I did do a bit of key binding prior to starting, um, but she's mostly going to be using magic. She might use a bit of her. She might use this iron mace for a little bit at the beginning just to defend herself, but she's probably going to try to avoid it. We're gonna get a quick moment to do this. No active quests. I can't believe the Skyrim is one of those games where I'm like, it's impossible to get rid of quests. There are some. We're gonna get quests that we're gonna keep forever, because there are things I plan on doing in this, and there are plenty of things I don't plan on doing in this. We will eventually. Oh, getting cold. Heading south. We're gonna start running. I do plan on this being a slower playthrough once we get to a little bit more comfortable. It's not going to be fast-paced. It's not going to be mid-maxing. It's not going to be all of that. We might turn survival mode off if it gets to be a problem. Ooh, don't want to fight bandits. Think we could sneak around them? Maybe. We'll go to the left. I think there's more room to the left. At least it looks like there's more room. That looks like that bumps up just to get to the hills pretty quickly. But this might give us more room to the left. As far as what I plan on doing, Sarah's initial goal, well, her initial goal right now is she's cold and she doesn't like it. She's going to try and make her way south to warmer climates, like places that don't have snow. Obviously, she can't leave Skyrim. I don't have a mod installed that allows me to go to Cyrodiil or anything like that. She is a pilgrim, though. A bit about her is that she is... Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. She probably is just trying to avoid fighting them right now because she... Blue flowers. She probably just wants to avoid fighting right now because she knows she's not prepared to fight. That might change. She might become more courageous when she gets to be a bit further. She will be doing quests. I'm not going to just sit there and try to survive a life of. Well, we're going to keep running because, for one, it might keep her warm. It might make her think she's going to stay warmer, and for two, we need to get down south before we freeze to death. I don't play with survival mode very much. I'm doing a lot of things I don't normally do because... Ooh, dead mammoth. What killed a mammoth? What could kill a mammoth? Ooh, that's what could... No, that's a giant. Giants don't kill mammoths. I'm not being your enemy. I'm just trying to get south. Those are wolves. I can take on wolves. Ooh. That's 4 wolves. That's too much. Too many. There's too many. Fire, firebird. Okay. that's more wolves than I wanted to fight. Let's go ahead and take their pelts. Their pelts are worth 10 and they weigh 1. So, oh, that was also some amethyst. I'm not risking ticking that giant off for a bit of wolf pelt. Especially since she's not really into the whole wanting to butcher. I would normally have added in Hunterborn, which allows you to butcher creatures, which makes it so you can butcher creatures and stuff like that for their meat, especially playing in survival. But again, my mods aren't working right, which is why we're playing as Sarah and not playing as Lizzie, who is my more preferred character and has a story for this. But I don't want to play her with the lack of mods. But I really wanted to do this. I really wanted to get this, try this, because I feel like this will be easier to record because it's a faster paced, unlike Factorio. We will still be doing Factorio. I do have a recording to work on to edit and put out, but this you guys might get more often, and that you guys might get like one every 2 weeks, and this you'll get like 1 a week because it'll be easier for me to record it and make it. All right, I think we're now in the warmer regions. Like, it's weird to say that with me still seeing snow, but I think the symbols at the top of the screen being gone mean that it is now not cold. Let's see. It is chilly. That's okay. Fatigue is drained. Peckish. Okay. I don't know if that... I'm trying to figure out why my health is down. Is that because of this? No, that's just stamina. Attacks with weapons are 10% slower, and you're 30% less effective using shields and sneaking. Okay. Magic and stamina, cold, chilly. Total health is reduced. Okay, so just because we're still chilly. Which is probably because of the clothing we're wearing. She'll probably switch over to wearing something a little bit warmer than this. It's the one thing I don't like about Skyrim Survival and why I almost didn't do it. I gotta keep running since she's still in the chilly states. We're heading towards Whiterun. She probably sees the big building in the distance and decides that's her destination. I wasn't originally planning on going to Whiterun straight off the bat, but it's not a bad place to start. There's some work she can do there to get money. There's some shops there she can do shopping, and there's an inn there for her to sleep at. So it gives her a bit of a base of operations to work from. Not to mention, I know that there's also a blacksmith there she can use for processing these pelts, and hopefully leather armor, or maybe even fur armor. I might go with fur armor just to keep her warmer. Will help her with the whole being cold situation. As far as the main quest goes, we will eventually be doing the main quest. I think we're now getting into the warming up process. And I think that's what that symbol up by the top of the compass says. What's this? A traveler? Hello.
Bother and befuddle! Stuck here! Stuck! My poor mother. Unmoving. At rest. But too still.
You have a problem, I'm guessing?
Oh, poor Cicero is stuck. Can't you see? I was transporting my dear, sweet mother. Well, not her corpse. She's quite dead. I'm taking mother to a new home, a new crypt, but... Wagon wheel! Damnedest wagon wheel! It broke. Don't you see?
I always love Cicero. Is there some way I can help you?
Oh, yes! Yes, the kindly stranger can certainly help. Go to the farm, the Lorius farm, just over there off the road. Talk to Lorius. He has tools. He can help me, but he won't. He refuses. Convince Lorius to fix my wheel. Do that.
I really hope I can.
Cicero will reward you with coin. Gleamy, shiny coin.
Alright, so time to go see if Lorius will help him. Oh, there is a wagon wheel broken off. I was sitting there like talking to him. I'm sitting here looking at these wagon wheels like, buddy, your wagon wheels are fine. It's the hitching part that's broken. But no, one of his wagon wheels is definitely off of it. I wonder if they're... I don't know if he's going to have the tools to fix that. I don't know if it's fixable. But we'll see. He's an interesting character, and he's a man in need, and Sarah's a relatively nice person. She believes in being nice to people, and she has a relatively nice spirit. She will pick all the flowers, though. She loves all the flowers, and she is wondrous with alchemy. The little man, he really needs your help. With his wagon?
That Cicero feller? Huh, tell me something I don't know. Crazy fool's already asked me about 5 times. Seems he's not satisfied with my answer. Why can't he just leave us alone?
What's the problem? I'm sure he'd pay you, and like, if you want him gone, just fix his wagon so he can move on. It's not like he's trying to stay here.
Pay me? You think this is about money? Have you seen the man? He's completely out of his head. A jester here in Skyrim? Ain't been a merry man in these parts for 100 years. And he's transporting some giant box.
It's a pretty dark
Says
thought
it's
process.
a coffin, and he's going to bury his mother. Mother, my eye. You could have anything in there. War contraband, weapons, skooma. Ain't no way I'm getting involved in any of that.
Well, I mean, you have a point, but he's a guy who needs assistance. Please, do the right thing.
What? And just who in Mara's name are you, anyway? Hmm? Come here, telling me my business. And for what? To help a fool?
He's a... Please?
Look, Yes, you're right. Feller might be nutters, might not. But fact is, he needs help. I turned him away. What kind of a man am I, huh? Look, thanks.
I imagine
And
Sarah
I'm
had
sorry for my unneighborly reaction. If you talk to Cicero, you be sure to tell him I'll be down to help soon.
I imagine Sarah had a pretty difficulty with that conversation, which is what I was trying to prescribe. But I'm guessing she's not used to people being like, no, I don't want to help people. She's probably not used to friendly people. She's probably used to either A, you're a bandit trying to kill people, or B, you're trying to help people. She probably has a very naive sense of the world, which is probably why she wanted to help Cicero.
Poor mother. Her home seems so very far.
I can move the camera around a little bit while I'm talking to people. I talked to Lorius. He agreed to fix your wagon wheel.
You did? He has?
Yes.
Oh, stranger! You have made Cicero so happy, so jubilant and ecstatic, but more, even more, my mother thanks you. Here for your troubles, shiny, clicky gold, a few coins for your kind deed, and thank you again.
So for those who know this, I apologize if I spoil anything for Skyrim. I'll try to keep spoilers to a minimum. But for those who know Cicero and know what this all preludes to, we will be doing that quest eventually. I mentioned Sarah is a good person. That doesn't always mean that she has always good intention. She's normally, I imagine she's more of a, I more of see her as a character who, she's a good person as long as it's good for herself and good for others. She'll be willing to go down other routes if she deems it necessary. She's a good person in her own heart, and I think that in most cases she'll have positive thoughts. Like, she's not going to just go around killing people for no purpose. She's not going to go around... Oh. Well, that's not good. He probably doesn't really want to get involved because... Oh. Apparently she doesn't have to. Now see, that's a lot more warmer. We're going to take it. I don't know if we're going to wear it just yet. Not gonna take from the guards, especially while they're standing here. But yeah, in situations like this where it's like this chest is locked and the guards are here, she wouldn't try to steal from them. Obviously, most of my characters wouldn't, but she would be willing to. I will take those arrows. I will take that. I will take that. I will take the hunting bow. But she will be willing to steal if she feels like it's better with her than with somebody else. Right now she has no reason because she doesn't know what's in that chest and she doesn't know if there's anything good in it. She doesn't want to get herself into trouble for possibly no gain whatsoever. Very impressive. I do like Skyrim. I like its look. I like its appearance. I find it funny that Cicero was the first quest. Sometimes I'll run into his quest, sometimes I won't. Like, his quest is one of those, like, I rarely ever run into it because of the fact that I don't walk this road very often. But I think that it is definitely going to be a thing of her wanting to, well, obviously she helps Cicero, but it's probably going to be one of those things that if people ask her to do something, she's probably going to have a hard time saying no. She's probably going to automatically want to be helpful to people. Her overall goal for Skyrim right now is just, I guess, survival. She's trying to figure out where she's supposed to be in the world, what the Nine want her to do. Oh, Imperial's escorting a prisoner. She knows about the war. She knows about the Civil War in Skyrim. She's traveled through Skyrim for a little bit. She arrived. I imagine that she, if we look at the map, we can't look at the map of Cyrodiil, sadly, but we can look at this map. My thoughts are she probably sailed in from High Rock across the northern border of Skyrim and came to rest in Dawnstar, and then worked her way down to the Hall of the Vigilant. I was originally going to have her start in Dawnstar, but I wanted her to have the Pilgrim start because I wanted her to have the Pilgrim's equipment, because having her start at Dawnstar, I'm pretty sure the equipment is more just basically weapons and stuff, or just basic armor and equipment and stuff like that, and I didn't want her to have that. We're gonna remove that so I don't get confused why it's there. But like I said, we will be doing the main quest eventually. We're not going to start the main quest probably for a little bit. It's going to be something that I'm going to do it as I feel like she would want to. She has no reason for wanting to travel to Helgen right now. I could always say that she had a friend who was stationed in Helgen, and she was coming to see them, so she was going to travel to Helgen. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to have her have any reason to want to go to Helgen just to start the main quest, especially since I don't want the main quest looming over us. I really don't like how you feel like you're being rushed through it. I'll probably talk about it more when we get into the main quest, but I do feel like it's a lot of a feeling of being rushed. But she knows about the war in Skyrim. She knows about the Civil War going on. She doesn't have particular feelings in one way or the other about it. She feels it's more of a it's not her business and she's not interested. Skyrim pathfinding at its best. I love this game. I love this game even though it's ridiculous sometimes. We might do some fishing. I don't know how to fish. I haven't done fishing in this game before, so I don't know the mechanics behind it, but we might try the fishing. Because I know fish can be used as an alchemical ingredient, and then you can also use fish for food, and obviously we're doing survival. I might turn survival off, depending on how annoying it gets, but if I do, well, we'll still try to, like, role-play it out. This is going to be more of a role-play let's play, so as I mentioned, it's going to be slow. We're not going to walk all the time, but I will walk sometimes. Another mod I wish I could have installed, which, again, my Vortex mods aren't working. I'm going to continue to try to work with it in the background, but if it doesn't, if I get around to it, we might do the Lizzie playthrough. I might restart or redo the Sarah playthrough, or I might continue Sarah playthrough if I can keep the things running. I hear a Nernroot. But I don't know how well I'm going to get to it because I don't know what's wrong with Vortex. It literally just will not let me install mods. I was just about to say, sir, you're walking through the water for no reason. But then again, so am I. Okay. But it's definitely a situation of, I feel like she's like I would like to have more mods installed. One of the mods I would like to have installed is the mod that keeps your character from turning with your mouse if you're walking. I like being able to turn around and see her from the front, and then that would also be useful for the slow walking times where we're doing the cinematic slow walk. The other thing I don't like about Skyrim that I think is kind of annoying, that guard is walking faster than me, but I am at walking. I either choose to walk at this very slow meandering pace, or I'm like literally jogging most of the time. Like, I don't like that. I wish it was more of a, I wish I could do it more of a I wish I could do more of a stroll walk like them. But I get Skyrim. I get why Skyrim doesn't have it. A lot of the mechanics that I want are something I see in other games, but, well, they killed a giant. Oh, they're killing a giant. Now they've killed a giant. I already know what they're going to say if they get a chance to talk to me, so hopefully they're not going to talk to me. Because I do not know what she would say. She's getting hungry. There's an inn in Whiterun. So there's probably an inn somewhere in Whiterun, she's probably thinking. So she's probably going to get in there and grab a bite to eat. We might use the carriage system. Well, I know we're going to use the carriage system at some point. I'm not going to walk everywhere, and with fast travel disabled due to survival mode, I'm not going to be walking everywhere. I am kind of annoyed that the fast travel gets disabled, but you don't have like a cart in certain towns to take you places. Like, you only have a cart in some of the towns. So, but here's Whiterun. We're going to see this city a lot. I like this city, and with the fact that it's in the middle of Skyrim, it makes for a very good place to have a base. I don't know if we're going to get Breeze home eventually, but I do know of a few homes that we'll eventually own, probably. I also might change plans. There's certain quests I might add. There's certain quests I might remove. Mostly I plan on just being able to tell Sarah's story. Being able to get her story out there and explain who she is and give an explanation on how she operates.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial.
She does specialize in certain things, but she does have the ability to work in most areas. Mostly because I want her to be able to do a lot of different things. She is going to do a little bit of smithing, not a lot of smithing. She's not the type to wear heavy armor.
Never make steel for the Legion.
Speaking of which,
I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
can I ask her if I can use the forge?
He's a steward up at Dragon's
No.
Reach.
I can't ask her if I can use the forge.
The
But
finest weapons and armor.
I think I can at least. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna say that she talked to her and asked her if she could use the forge, and she said sure. I could always do the. Do you need some help around the forge? Actually, that's what we'll do.
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead.
She's basically going to be like she's decided to say, you need help around the forge, and in return letting me use your forge.
That's a
She's
decent
gonna
weapon.
do this.
I helped my father in more ways. Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the finest weapons and armor.
Oop, not what I wanted to do. We're gonna sharpen the. We're getting close to the end of the episode, but we're gonna quit. We're gonna get this dagger finished up real quick. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, hit that like button. If you want to see Sarah's story continue or more of my content, hit that subscribe button.
This looks good. You put time into your blades, they'll serve you well when you.
We will be working on the next episode. She'll probably be doing a little bit more around Whiterun and getting herself settled.
I'll take my leave then.
I may have cut out a bit of the episode in order to make it a little less problematic with how long it's been. But hopefully I didn't cut anything important out.
Need something? Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need.
Not a big fan of making a hide helmet because of the fact that I don't like hide armor. I don't like the appearance of it. But we'll do it just so we can have this completed. I like how it's like, it's all leather, but there's metal. Like, I feel like an ironing it should be in this somewhere.
Have you met my I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there.
I actually like this little, like, I'm gonna call it a quest. I don't know if it's a quest, but I like this little quest because I feel like it is nice for them to have like a way that you learn how to
Need
make a
something?
weapon, improve a weapon, make armor,
You have
improve
that.
armor.
Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you will remember me when you're making Skyforge steel, huh?
So, we're gonna go ahead and finish up here. Probably stand over here. I try to find places I can stand when I'm gonna find places when I can stand when I do these outros in order to be able to talk about what's going to be able to do the outro, but not be talked to by every person in Skyrim like Skyrim has a tendency to do. But this has been Let's Play Skyrim. We helped out Cicero, made our way to Whiterun, and we helped out Adria at the forge so that we can use her forge. Hopefully now she doesn't mind us using her forge to make armor, weapons, and other things. Mostly probably just to sell them. She might use leather armor. She's a light armor user, so she's not going to be using any heavy armor. But she might make heavy armor just to sell it, or put it on display or something. But I'll see you guys all in the next one. See you guys later. Bye!